Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the month of April. I hope you are well. I'm using the Crow Tarot for you today. If the reading resonates and you would like to go a little bit deeper, there will be an extended that you can access at the end. That will be, the link for that is in the description box below. But let's get straight on with this, Gemini. So can I have 3 cards for Gemini? There's the first one. So we have the Queen of Cups in your recent past, like that. Like your current energy. Oh shit. And we have the Lovers. There you are, Gemini, with the 9 of Wands in the reverse. What's coming towards Gemini, please? Oops, thank you. We have the Knight of Cups. Oh, I like this for you. Oh, we've got the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well. So this is a month of emotional stuff for you. I'm going to say that straight out. But underneath the Page of Cups, we've also got the Devil. Now that's quite interesting because I cannot tell you how the Devil and the Lovers have been showing themselves together quite a lot this month. This month is all about choices, and I think also to a degree about change. Making choices that change patterns. Here, it's going to be a month of self-examination for you, Gemini, and working out whether you're doing something from a place of love and free will and consent with the Lovers card, or whether it's coming from a place of fear, right? Let's just put those to the side for a second and get some clarifiers. Yeah, I thought it was you. Better shut the fucking window as well. Because everything in the world wants to drive past my house, it seems, right now. Right. Let's get some clarifiers here. Queen of Cups, why is this here for Gemini, please? Oh, we've got the 3 of Wands. And the Lovers card, again, there it is. I'll just retrieve that 3 of Wands that fell down there. So there we go. Got those 2 cards there. Tell me about the Lovers card and the 9 of Wands, please. We have the Father of Cups, which is the King of Cups, Scorpio energy. We've got the 4 of Wands. Whoa. And we've got a few other cards coming out here. We've got the Page of Pentacles. We've got the World card, and we've got Justice. Right. I'm going to let those stand. I'm going to pop them just there underneath the other 2 clarifiers that we've got, because they did seem to want to come out. Tell me about the Knight of Cups, please. We have the Page of Swords. And the Death card. Here we go. Yeah, there are big decisions to be made this month. Gemini. We've got the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And we also have the Ace of Pentacles underneath there, just sort of peeking out from behind here. So, you've had a bit of a tough time of it recently, Gemini. I think for a few months now, it's been really quite difficult for you in a lot of ways, and I think that you've been made to feel very, very uncomfortable. I don't remember the content exactly of the readings that I've done for you in the last few months, but I do vaguely recall there was a sense of you sort of sticking to your principles and sticking to your integrity, and you being made to feel very uncomfortable about that. I'm sure it was something like that. But that really being the thing that is pushing you out of your comfort zone, it's maybe pushing you away from a certain set of people and potentially towards new people, I think. So we start off with this Queen of Cups, and she's water of water, you know, she's compassion and forgiveness absolutely personified, and this is part of what you have been experiencing here, Gemini, right? This has been very, in some ways you've kind of been tolerant over and above what was necessary, but it's a measure of your character that you've chosen to do that, you know. And it's here with the 3 of Wands and the Lovers card, and I think there have been many opportunities for you to change your position right? And you've chosen not to take it. And we got this choosing choice. These words are going to come out a lot. The opportunities were there, but you have chosen not to take them because there was something internally for you that was much more important, and that is to be exactly what it is that you hold yourself out to be, right? And I think that part of the discomfort and part of what's made you, that's really challenged you in the last few months, is the extent to which the people around you who you trusted, who you thought were operating on the same level, actually aren't, you know? And that when push comes to shove, actually, a lot of people will abandon their integrity and will abandon their principles and their morals, possibly to fit in, or possibly because they are coming from a place of fear in that. And it's not a fear that you understand. It's not a fear, well, no, that's not quite true. I think that you do understand it. But there is no level of fear that you would experience that would stop you from being who you are. I mean, this is a very authentic expression of your energy here, right, on these cards. And there's a consistency of behavior. You know, I'm looking at these cards here and I'm seeing as within, so without. Like, there's no question, and it's the colours. So here is the within, right? There's your within. Here are your behaviours, and here is that absolutely exploding out. Like, you are seen to be someone who holds this very, very dear, you know. And it doesn't mean that you are that you've judged anybody who hasn't. Actually, quite the reverse. I think that you've been quite compassionate and quite forgiving in your approach to other people, seeing that it's coming from a place of fear, but not bending. I think, like I said, I think the challenges have come from realizing that not everybody sees things the way that you do, and also not everybody is compassionate in the same way that you are, or as forgiving, you know, where you would extend to somebody the courtesy of having a particular viewpoint on something because you know it's coming from a place of fear, and you forgive them for that, you're compassionate about that. That is not reciprocated to you, and that, I think, has been quite painful for you over this time. But we move into your current energy, and we've got the Lovers and the Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands showing up in the reverse. So again, the Lovers, authentic expression of your energy, but it is also a card of coming into alignment with something, right? There's conscious co-creation here. So as difficult as the last few months have been, they have been pushing you, the experiences have been pushing you in a direction that you might not necessarily have gone were you not made to feel uncomfortable, right? We are creatures of habit. We are creatures who are relatively pain avoidant, actually. You know, we don't often put ourselves in the way of pain. It's like, please, can I have some more of that pain? I really, really enjoy it. That's not what we tend to do. More often it is, you know, those areas in which we are complacent, those areas in which we are comfortable, becoming challenging to a point where it's actually easier to move than to stay still. Now, the Nine of Wands is a card of boundaries, and it's a card sometimes of resilience too, right? It's a card of tending to one's garden, as it is here. I feel like this crow is just kind of like, it's picking up that stick there. It's got a really nice, neat set of boundaries, and I feel like this is a realization by you that perhaps because these people, you know, maybe person, maybe people, maybe environment, you know, that you thought was operating in the same way that you have. Start again. Let's get my words. Find my words. Sometimes we fail to erect boundaries with people that we are very comfortable with, that we have known for a very long time, that we assume see things the way that we do, right? Boundaries are for kind of people who may transgress them, you know, or who will keep you over there. And we sometimes fail to notice the fact that actually boundaries need to be everywhere, right? You need to have boundaries with your children, you need to have boundaries with your parents, you even need to have boundaries with your significant others, right? And everybody else as well. And I think that part of what has been very disappointing for you is realizing that those people with whom you did not have really solid boundaries, actually, because you thought you didn't need them, will transgress them if circumstances require it, as far as they're concerned, you know. But I think there's an element of regret here that you did allow the situation to go on for so long. The thing is, no experience is wasted. Like, you've learned something very, very valuable here, and you've actually now moved beyond the Queen of Cups to the King of Cups, although they kind of sit on a parity with me, to be honest, because they are the expression of masculine and feminine energy. What we've got now here is a more active expression, though. So where things were kind of happening at you here, and you were just, you know, from a passive position, being very forgiving and compassionate, being like, oh, okay, well, you're being awful, but I know why you're being awful, that's fine. Here, it's a much more outward expression of that. So it could be that you've actually been in conversation with some of these people, and you're going, I can't deal with this. This is not this is not the situation for me. I understand if you want to continue doing that, that's fine, that's your thing, but this isn't for me. I'm not going to do this, so I'm going to walk away. I'm going to do my thing elsewhere. But I feel like it's given you an understanding of people. It's given you an insight that perhaps you were missing before, and it's helped you grow in some ways, right? It's made that compassion even stronger. It's made that forgiveness even stronger. It's not made it comfortable, but the fact that you've been able to put it in the right place in your head has made a big difference to you. Now, the other cards that we've got here, I mean, we've got Page of Pentacles. Oh, hang on. We've got the Four of Wands. Let's deal with that first, because the others came out together. This is the creation of a new foundation, right? And I do feel like this is important for you, because what was before has been blown up in quite an unexpected way, right? So now it's about creating a new one, and this may well be involving meeting new people, exposing yourself to, you know, groups that you might not have considered before. You know, kind of. I don't feel like you've been living an insular existence, Gemini, but I do think that you've had the same set of people around you for a long time, whether these are friends or work colleagues or, you know, interest groups, you know, whatever. There's a history there, and so you haven't really necessarily had time to meet other people, and now you seem to be able to be doing that, and these people are proving to be much more like you, much more like the frequency that you resonate at than what you have left behind. You know, this is about embracing the new. I'm looking at the colours. So the colours are very important here for you. Because this kind of vivid internal existence that you live really does need to be matched by people who also have this kind of vivid internal existence, right? And when people are coming from a place of fear, things become very flat, things become very grey, things become very muddy almost, and that's not the life for you, Gemini. You're not interested in that at all. So it's about birds of a feather flock together, I guess, and all that. You've realised that what was is not for you. It's not a part of who you are now, and now you're actively looking for a way to create this new foundation with new people, with new groups potentially, that you can build on and you can expand from here, you know. We've got the Page of Pentacles, the World, and the Justice card underneath here. And I think that this is really quite fascinating. You're not the only sign to have got the World card repeatedly. Oh, you've only got it once, but, you know, it's been coming out a lot, just like the Lovers and the Devil card has been coming up a lot as well. It feels like there's a kind of shuffling going on. You know when you put like cornflakes into a tub and you fill them up in the first thing, and then you just like wriggle it around and everything kind of finds its level, and then suddenly there's more space. That feels a little bit like what the universe is doing at the moment, but it's doing it with people. You know, people that you thought you'd know forever, suddenly, you know, they're just not who you thought they were. And people that you've kind of only really known in passing, suddenly you realise that these are really epic souls that you really want to spend time with because they're exciting and they interest you a lot. We've got this Page of Pentacles here indicating this redeployment of your energy in a different way. I mean, maybe you are taking up a course, maybe you're learning something that you didn't know before, but there's certainly an engagement with something else. Okay? Possibly taking an interest that you've had and exploring sideways from that. You know, maybe, I don't know, say like, for example, say like you've been part of a knitting group forever, right? And then suddenly you discover crochet. And it's like you've already got some of the basic skills that you need to be able to do this. I'm assuming that that's a thing, right? But you've never bothered with a crochet thing before, and now suddenly it's really interesting and you're meeting really loads of interesting people. This is a shit example. Taking something that you already know and kind of going sideways with it. So, okay, so maybe if it's occult things, right? Maybe you've joined a spiritual development group, right? You've always been interested in tarot or something like that, right? And you've done it a lot, but you haven't done things like pendulum work or scrying or something like that. And you've joined a spiritual development group and there's all these interesting people who are, and everybody's good at something different, you know? And then there are all these new people to meet, but there are all these new things to learn as well. This sense of learning is coming through really quite strongly. But we've got the World and the Justice card here. And the World does indicate this ending. It does indicate completion of a cycle. Like you've kind of limped to the end of this one, Gemini, but I do feel like you're starting to open up again. You're starting to bloom here as you are open to the new experiences that are coming in. Oh, what was the thing that I heard last night? I started doing a numerology course a few weeks ago. And with the energy of the 5, it's something that I associate quite strongly with Gemini anyway. What was the phrase? I've taken my pad downstairs. I forget. It was something about grasping hard and releasing lightly. Like if you find something that you really, really love, like really grab hold of it with 2 hands. And when its time is done, when it's no longer giving you what you want, just let it go like that. But the energy of the 5 anyway is something that, like I said, I kind of associate quite strongly with Gemini. It's got that kind of restless movement about it. And where you've kind of limped to the end of what everything has been, now you're in a process of kind of consolidating everything that you've learned from that, but being open to the new things. There is an alignment here that is happening that I'm seeing across the Lovers card as it's appearing twice, and this 4 of Wands with this new foundation, and the Justice card too. You know, it's interesting that I'm seeing the Justice card, but I'm feeling judgment. And it's interesting the nuance that's going on here, because I'm looking at these 2 cats who are looking very, very disapprovingly at me here. They're both looking very judgmental. And it makes me feel that perhaps what has been very hefty judgment that you have experienced at the hands of other people has been cloaked in a sense of justice, but it's misplaced. Right? It's an excuse for judgment rather than justice, and people have been parading around this justice, but it's actually judgment instead. That's the feeling that I've got of this here. But this is this coming to an end, right? This was your kind of moment to move thoroughly away from this. I hope that this is making sense. I feel like I'm kind of wandering all over the place. Anyway, in April, what we have is the Knight of Cups, and I like this very much because it's talking about you fully opening your heart and embracing what is coming towards you. I mean, the Knight of Cups is often a message of love, right? It's effectively the act of holding out your cup to other people and going, here I am, you know, open heart, all that sort of thing. It's the card of Pisces, right? But for me, Knights often indicate opportunities too, which is interesting because not often, sometimes. I can't remember the last time I saw a Knight as an opportunity, but there is an opportunity here for you. We've got the Page of Swords and we've got Death down here. It feels like for some of you, a chance meeting actually is going to take you down a path that is going to completely change everything, because we've got a change in the way that you think indicated here with this Page of Swords, but we've got a complete transformation that comes off the back of it, and it does feel like it's a chance meeting. Let me get this cards here. Tell me about this Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups. Yeah, we've got the Judgment card and we've got the Queen of Cups here. I'm trying to see my way around any other interpretation of this, but this meeting someone important is coming up over and over again, and this is somebody who notices that Queen of Cups-ness about you. Perhaps they've heard about you, perhaps they know about you through someone else, they want to meet you. Perhaps they even seek you out, actually. We've got the Hanged Man here. There's somebody who seeks you out because of your very particular either expertise or perspective on something. This is interesting. This is very interesting. We've got the Emperor card at the bottom of the deck. It feels like it's somebody who is in a position to be able to help you and wants to help you do something. And it's something using all of these attributes that you have demonstrated so beautifully over the last few months. But there are big decisions to be made off the back of what this person brings to you. This is really interesting. Yeah. I mean, you could be headhunted for a job. You could be approached in a consultancy, kind of as a consultant for something. Or this could just be somebody seeking you out for advice, but there's a big change on the horizon for you here, Gemini. It's massive, and you might just get a sniff of it from this meeting with this person, whether it happens, you know, via email or social media, or whether you just like literally bump into someone, or whether it's a meeting that's been arranged for you. There's huge potential sitting in the wings with this one. So I would say, you know, treat everybody kindly this month, but actually, like, Gemini, just be you this month, because the person who needs to find you will find you. I don't necessarily feel like it's a romantic relationship. It doesn't have that kind of flavour to me. For some of you it might be, but for the overwhelming majority of you, it is more to do with the other aspects of your life, not those really significant relationships, but how you can expand what it is that you know by expressing it out in the world, you know? Fascinating. Right, I'm going to go over to Vimeo now. We're going to have a look at April specifically and see what's going on. So if you would like to join me, the link is in the description box. If not, not to worry at all. I shall be back in due course for the mid-month readings. Very interesting indeed. Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.